First tonight in Our News Live at 7, stamping out a culture of corruption. The highlights from the Commissioner of Police's national address and his plan to restore public trust in the police force. This as a police corporal faces prosecution for the shooting death of an unarmed schoolboy 7 years ago. And a resident recalls hearing the gunshots ring out during Sunday night's Market Street homicide, telling us their hearts sank when they realized the victim was a family friend. And then in our news at 7:30, Attorney General Ryan Pinder adds his voice to the climate action conversation, saying industrial states must take urgent action now and provide reparations for their decades of neglect. All that and more as Our News Live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Candino Knowles. A plan to restore trust in the police force. That was the focus of a national address from Police Commissioner Clayton Fernander. During the 17-minute address, Fernander acknowledged a culture of corruption in the organization amid a U.S. indictment that saw senior law enforcement officers charged. Our Berthany McDermott gets us started tonight with a closer look at that national address.
Amid public uproar following the unsealing of a U.S. indictment that saw 11 Bahamians, including senior law enforcement officers, charged with guns and drug trafficking, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernander acknowledged the culture of corruption within the Royal Bahamas Police Force. In a national address Sunday night, Fernander outlined a framework to rebuild the organization and address areas of concern.
This culture of corruption that's infiltrated the Royal Bahamas Police Force did not happen overnight, but from today, we will redouble our efforts to stamp it out.
The indictment names Chief Superintendent of Police Elvis Curtis, who was officer in charge of the Airport Division, Sergeant Prince Simonet, who works with Curtis, and RBDF Chief Petty Officer Darren Roca as conspirators who helped facilitate the transshipment of tons of cocaine from South America through the Bahamas and ultimately the United States. Fernander said the indictment was not just shocking but devastating. It comes as many questions surrounding integrity in the RBPF swirled amid allegations against Criminal Investigations Department head Michael Johnson. Moving forward, Fernander plans to implement an encrypted anonymous whistleblower platform to strengthen protection.
It will allow officers and citizens to report wrongdoing without fear or retaliation. I will formally request significant increase funding from the Ministry of National Security to expand anti-corruption investigations.
Fernander said the introduction of body cams has helped ensure police interactions are recorded and accountable. He also proposed mandatory annual integrity testing for senior officers, but that's not all.
Any individual who has departmental responsibility should be subject to unexplained wealth orders. The public deserves to know that those at the top of this organization is beyond reproach. Moving forward, I propose to publish the names of shortlist recruits in the newspaper for public feedback during the 30-day review period.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Meanwhile, the Free National Movement is calling the Police Commissioner's national address nothing more than a public relations stunt. As we just heard, Fernander acknowledged a culture of corruption in the force and outlined new initiatives to restore trust in the force. They included an encrypted anonymous whistleblower program, increased funding for anti-corruption investigations, and mandatory integrity tests. Dr. Sands telling us the address was out of the ordinary.
It turned out that it was poorly written, it was poorly executed, and it was poorly edited. It damaged the credibility of the office and standing of the Commissioner of Police. Bahamians ask, at what point did the Commissioner of Police know that there was a culture of corruption within his organization? He spoke about needing strong leadership, but Bahamians don't feel that he is providing that strong leadership.
The F&M chairman reiterated that Bahamians have no confidence in police officers to investigate themselves. Sands renewed the opposition's call for the resignation of the top cop, saying Bahamians no longer have confidence in him.
At this point, the Commissioner of Police is at risk of being seen as a political tool or an instrument of the PLP, and this is a dangerous place for our country. So if the Commissioner truly wants to restore faith in the force and wants to be seen to do his duty, he must resign. And if he fails to resign, the Bahamian people will believe that he is part of the problem as the PLP continues to circle the wagon as things go from bad to worse.
Police are investigating the country's latest homicide that occurred on Market Street Sunday night. The latest incident capping off a bloody weekend in the capital. Officers say they got the call just before 7 last night and responded to a crime that was just a stone's throw away from the scene of another murder about a month ago. Officer in charge of the South Central Division, Chief Superintendent Dwight Smith, said when the officers arrived, they met the victim lying on the sidewalk, unresponsive.
Our initial report so far suggests that this victim was patronizing in business establishment in the nearby area. When he exited the vehicle, he was approached by a male in dark clothing who was armed with a high-powered weapon. He discharged multiple rounds at the victim. The victim ran from that location and he collapsed in a nearby open yard.
Police say they're looking for a white Nissan Juke that was seen fleeing the scene. Relatives on scene identified the deceased as 26-year-old Saran Barr, a father of a 2-year-old. A family friend said she was in the area at the time the shots went off, and she also knew Saran personally.
I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't do anybody anything. So where are these shots coming from? At first, it sounded as if it was the what you call it? The transformer. And then I looked back, I didn't see anything, but I heard these bam, 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 like non-stop. Most of the young men and women around here in this area, they call me Auntie. And every time he see me, he like, Auntie, you okay? You know, so when I came around and saw that was him on the ground, my heart sank in my stomach. It was unbelievable.
Our Joshua Williams also spoke to a family member of one of the victims of this weekend's triple shooting. That story is coming up on Our News at 7:30. Police Corporal Dennis Stirrup will be prosecuted after a coroner's jury recommended a manslaughter charge in the shooting death of an unarmed schoolboy 7 years ago. Stirrup fatally shot 15-year-old Gino Finley Jr. after he dropped his gun during a police pursuit on May 23, 2017. Finley, a 10th grade student of R.M. Bailey High School, was a suspect in the armed robbery of the QVS pharmacy on Prince Charles Drive. He was killed while allegedly fleeing the police officers who responded to the holdup. Stirrup was committed to stand trial when he was handed voluntary bill of indictment papers during a brief appearance before Coroner Cara Turnquest DeVoe. He remains on $9,900 bail. He's scheduled to be arraigned before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson on December 13th. And police in Exuma rescued 2 boaters and are actively searching for a third man who's lost at sea. Police say the trio from Exuma left Ramsey Beach on a yellow kayak around 2 p.m. on Sunday and were headed to Duck Key. When they failed to arrive, the police were alerted. The search was launched and 2 men were found on Duck Key just after midnight. The men reported that their kayak had capsized during the trip and that they both swam to the key. Officials are still searching for that third man. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, and a happy Monday evening, everybody. Enjoying some rather nice conditions on the outside. Cooler temperatures into low 70s with a few clouds around. Had a front go through. 72 is our current temperature right now. It's on the breezy side. Your winds out of the north at 21 miles per hour. Feels like temperature hanging out near the 70-degree mark, so it's rather cool on the outside. Temperatures around the islands right now, it is 67 in Freeport, 72 in Alistown, Bimini, Nicholstown, Andros here in the capital, 71 Great Harbor Key, we pick up 69 in Marsh Harbor, Governor's Harbor 73, Central Bahamas 74 in Kemps Bay, pick up 75s, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn Town, San Salvador, Georgetown 79, Deadman's Key 78, and into the southeast Bahamas, upper 70s, the 80s there, 79 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Aucklands, Abrams Bay, Meguana, and a pair of 80s, Matthewtown, Inagua, and our very good neighbors to the southeast, Turks and Caicos Islands at this hour. Satellite radar composite, very weak front now pushing into the central Bahamas, but most of the activity is mainly out towards the east and away from us. There's still that persistent troughing near the southeast Bahamas producing some cloudiness and possibly some isolated showers down there. But that northerly wind is flushing in some nice cool temperatures across our island, so we're going to continue to enjoy these nice conditions tonight through tomorrow and possibly even into the remainder of the week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, DeAndre Ayton gets back on track, the Hero World Challenge returns to Albany, and Lacarthia Cooper goes D1.
JBI.
Thank you
for providing quality products for the Bahamian table for over 30 years. I really love all your products, but my favorite is the kidney bean.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the Our News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the lives.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Tune in to relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. From thrilling native sloop races to delicious Bahamian food, games, and unforgettable entertainment, it was a celebration of culture, history, and pure island fun. Catch all the highlights, behind-the-scenes moments. Don't miss the exclusive recap of the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. Tune in and relive the adventure, only on Our TV.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. DeAndre Ayton continues to work his way back from last month's finger injury that kept him sidelined for 2 weeks. Ayton finished with 18 points and 7 rebounds in his Portland Trail Blazers 137-131 loss to the Dallas Mavericks last night at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Over the course of the season, Ayton is averaging 14.7 points and 10.3 rebounds per game on 55% shooting from the field. On November 27th, Ayton returned to the starting lineup after he had missed the Blazers' previous 7 games with a deep contusion in his right index finger.
Sports tourism continues its busy winter schedule with the return of the Hero World Challenge. The Hero World Challenge, hosted by Tiger Woods, is a 20-man event at the Albany Golf Course which features some of the top names in the sport. The 4-day, 72-hole event takes place December 5th to 8th for the 25th time and the 10th consecutive year at Albany. Woods will not play in this year's event due to back issues, but the field of 20 players includes some of the best in the world. World number 1 and defending champion Scotty Scheffler headlines a field which also includes world number 5 Ludwig Agberg and number 6 Wyndham Clark.
The last time LaCarthia Cooper made headlines, it was a question of whether she would be headed to Paris. Well, we know this fall, she's headed to Vegas. Cooper will join the UNLV Running Rebels program for the upcoming fall campaign after spending 2 seasons in junior college. She concluded her JUCO career with a national title for New Mexico Junior College. She won the 400-meter title in 53.65 seconds at the NJC 2A Championships in West Monroe, Louisiana.
The Nassau Rowing Club continues its community outreach effort in the local public schools. The Opportunities and Access Rowing program moved to H.O. Nash Junior School. The program has previously hosted students from D.W. Davis, C.R. Walker, and C.D. Bethel.
That'll do it for Our Sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world. As U.S. President Joe Biden formally pardons his son's federal felony gun and tax convictions, despite repeatedly vowing he would not do so. Plus, security concerns prompting the biggest UN agency providing aid to Palestinians to suspend their deliveries through the main crossing between Israel and Gaza. And Grenada's parliament readies to embrace artificial intelligence in 2025, equipping legislators with new tools and training. We have the details when Our News returns.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Tune in to relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. From thrilling native sloop races to delicious Bahamian food, games, and unforgettable entertainment, it was a celebration of culture, history, and pure island fun. Catch all the highlights, behind-the-scenes moments. Don't miss the exclusive recap of the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. Tune in and relive the adventure, only on Our TV.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Joe Biden formally pardoned his son Hunter on Sunday evening following federal felony gun and tax convictions. In a lengthy statement, the U.S. president said the charges against his son were politically motivated, adding raw politics has infected the justice system and resulted in a miscarriage of justice. The presidential pardon covers both convictions and is a major reversal for a president who repeatedly vowed he would not do so. A previous plea deal struck by Hunter Biden's legal team unraveled under scrutiny from a judge in July 2023. The biggest UN agency providing aid to Palestinians has said it's suspending deliveries through the main crossing between Israel and Gaza because of security concerns. The head of UNRWA, Felipe Lazzarini, said 2 recent convoys had been looted by armed gangs near the Kerem Shalem crossing and called on Israel to maintain law and order. On November 16th, a large convoy of aid trucks was stolen by armed gangs, and on Saturday, a few food trucks were also taken. The announcement also followed the death of 3 people employed by World Central Kitchen and 2 others in an Israeli strike on Saturday. Grenada's parliament is set to embrace artificial intelligence in 2025, equipping legislators with new tools and training. Speaker Leo Cato announced Tuesday that the decision came following a recent Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference in Australia, which emphasized the importance of technology in governance. He noted that AI could enhance accessibility and efficiency, citing examples like transcription, translation, and video subtitling.
We will be procuring the tools that allow our parliamentarians to use artificial intelligence, and we will do some training with respect to AI. Parliaments should continue to adapt and innovate to strengthen the governance system while ensuring the efforts respect and engage with tradition and local context.
Still to come in Our News, Today in History. Find out interesting facts about the day that was December 2nd. And then in Our News at 7:30, Attorney General Ryan Pinder addresses the International Court of Law, saying industrial states must take urgent action now and provide reparations for their decades of neglect. And Tourism Minister Chester Cooper talks the key takeaways after a meeting focused on tourism empowerment and exploring ways for taxi operators to benefit more from the economic activities currently taking place. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Tune in to relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. From thrilling native sloop races to delicious Bahamian food, games, and unforgettable entertainment, it was a celebration of culture, history, and pure island fun. Catch all the highlights, behind-the-scenes moments. Don't miss the exclusive recap of the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. Tune in and relive the adventure, only on Our TV.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1694, William Shirley was born in East Sussex, England. Shirley was a barrister, soldier, and politician who served as governor of the Bahama Islands from 1760 to 1768. His rule was quiet. Dealing with smugglers in the island was the major issue demanding the governor's attention. Also in 1815, the Irish ship Forest sank off the coast of Great Exuma Island. The vessel was traveling from Norfolk and commanded by Captain Lascelles. All of her crew were saved. Then in 1934, Kenneth Andre Ian Rogers was born in New Providence. Rogers was a professional baseball player in the United States Major League Baseball for 10 years and for 1 year in Japan's Nippon Professional Baseball. He was the first Bahamian to play in the MLB when he debuted for the New York Giants in 1957. Rogers died in December 2004. He was 70. Air Canada made its first passenger flight to the Bahama Islands on this day in 1948. Then in 1954, former Deputy Prime Minister Theodore Brent Simonet was born in Nassau to Roland and Margaret Simonet. His father Roland was the first Premier of the Bahama Islands, and his half-brother Robert Simonet was a former Speaker of the House. Simonet is a lawyer, entrepreneur, and former politician who held numerous cabinet positions. And in 1974, Governor-General Sir Milo Butler announced the first College of the Bahamas Act. The college, now University of the Bahamas, has been this nation's premier institution of higher learning and research for more than 4 decades. And finally, in 2011, a fire engulfed and caused extensive damage to Pompey Museum of Slavery and Emancipation in downtown Nassau. Formerly known as Venue House, the building was previously used as an auction house where commodities, including enslaved Africans, were sold.
Well, speaking of history, a time capsule filled with 70 carefully selected items, including a copy of the Bahamian Constitution and a map of the Bahamas, has been sealed at Fort Charlotte to mark the post-50th anniversary of independence. The capsule, placed in a specially designed tomb, will remain sealed for 25 years and will be opened during the nation's Diamond Jubilee celebration in 2049. On hand for the official concealment was Dame Cynthia Mother Pratt, Member of Parliament for Fort Charlotte Alfred Sears, along with other government officials. Leslia Miller-Bryce, chair of the Independence Secretariat, emphasized the symbolic significance of the capsule.
This capsule holds artifacts of our time, symbols of our achievements, traditions, and aspirations. But this capsule is more than a tribute to the past and the present. It is a beacon of hope for the future. It reflects our dreams for a Bahamas that is stronger, safer, more sustainable, and more united.
Similar capsules are also being buried across the Family Islands, preserving unique pieces of Bahamian history for future generations. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin speaking out on behalf of Prime Minister Philip Davis, praising the nationwide involvement in the project.
Across our islands, these capsules find their homes in locations of significance. Cat Island at Heroes Gardens in Industrious Hill. Pages stuck together. Freeport, Grand Bahama at the Harold de Gregory Building. Central Abaco at the Government Complex Roundabout. And many more locations across this vibrant archipelago. Each site is a symbol of Bahamian heritage. Each capsule is a bridge connecting the past, present, and future.
To watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. Well, that does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia?
So much, Marlena. Remember your chance to start the new year in style this Boxing Day. You could drive away in a brand new all-electric 2024 BYD SUV. Visit ournews.bs, click the Ride Easy with Our News banner, answer the question correctly, and you're entered to win. Good luck. Before you head over to our website, here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, the family of the country's latest murder victim is speaking out. Our Joshua Williams brings us their emotional story tonight. Also, following the U.S. indictment naming high-ranking officers, the Commissioner of Police unveils reforms aimed at restoring public trust in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Plus, the former managing director of Clifton Heritage remains behind bars after being denied bail. We have all the details from the courtroom straight ahead. And Attorney General Ryan Pinder delivers a powerful address to the International Court of Justice, calling on industrial nations to be held accountable for the climate crisis threatening the Bahamas. The full story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckham, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckham, #1 in pest control services.
This holiday season, Our News and Easy Car Sales want to put you in a brand new electric ride.
Each week, tune into Our News at 7 and 7:30 for clues to questions about easy car sales, electric vehicles, and Generation E. Head over to our website, ournews.bs, for your chance to answer weekly trivia and enter to win.
It's simple. Answer correctly and you're automatically entered for your chance to win a brand new electric vehicle.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
This holiday season, the Ministry of Energy and Transport is bringing light back to Bahamian homes. Through our partnership with Bahamas Power and Light, we're offering the Merry and Bright Holiday Reconnection Program, so you can pay as little as 10% of your outstanding balance and get reconnected.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. A man with special needs was one of 3 people shot in Pinewood Gardens over the weekend. Our Joshua Williams spoke exclusively to one of his grandnieces today about his tragic killing. She says her granduncle was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
To see someone who was like really innocent and harmful get killed like that, I really hope it stops.
A family is picking up the pieces after their loved one was shot and killed Saturday night. 44-year-old Kishnell Navarro Edgecombe was among 3 people shot through Plain Street in Pinewood Gardens, another victim dying, the third taken to hospital. His grandniece tells us where she was when she got the call.
My auntie gave me a call like after 2 o'clock in the morning, and when I got the call I was still deep in sleep. So I didn't really register what she was saying that I actually wake up. But I didn't really visit the family until the next day because, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, a lot of things going around.
Despite his condition that left him unable to talk, she says Kishnell was a familiar face in the Pinewood community.
He was the type of person, if he close, you treat him good, you make sure he's okay. He would come around, stay in the neighborhood, stay in the yard. Like, you wouldn't see him walking out of the area of Pinewood. And then everybody around the community know him because he's a clean people's car. Hail, just be around the neighborhood. A friendly face, a friendly gesture, always smiling.
Now, his relative also telling me she believes Edgecombe was killed because he was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It was very unfortunate that was what he was doing at the time the incident happened. He just was there, standing up, like any other people in the community, just standing around, having fun, catching a joke or two, maybe playing dominoes, who knows.
She shares what he'll be remembered for most.
Just for being around. His spirit, him being happy, even though he couldn't talk, we still could see the excitement and emotions that he around his family.
Police have arrested a 36-year-old man in connection with this incident. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, Police Commissioner Clayton Fernando addressing the nation Sunday evening, announcing a plan to restore trust in the police force. During the 17-minute address, Fernando acknowledged a culture of corruption in the organization. It came amid public uproar following the unsealing of a U.S. indictment that saw 11 Bahamians, including senior law enforcement officer charged with guns and drug trafficking. Fernando outlined a framework to rebuild the organization and address areas of concern.
This culture of corruption that's infiltrated the Royal Bahamas Police Force did not happen overnight, but from today, we will redouble our efforts to stamp it out. Dealing with police wrongdoing is complex and will require both a new legislative framework and operational changes.
Former managing director of the Clifton Heritage Site, Mario Bannister, will remain behind bars after a Supreme Court judge denied his bail application. The 62-year-old father of 3 has been in custody since his arrest for the August 15th murder of Philip Adderley Jr. Adderley's body was retrieved from waters near South Ocean the following day. He was stabbed about the body and tied at the hands and legs. Bannister is facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder and acting as an accessory after the fact in Adderley's death. Bannister is charged along with Christian Napier and Dante Riley. With the recent International Monetary Fund report recommending an increase in the value-added tax, many residents have expressed concern about the potential rise in living costs. The report also urged government to consider raising taxes, cutting spending, and introducing a personal income tax for top earners. These measures, according to the IMF, are aimed at helping the government meet its debt target by 2031. Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkitis recently addressed the IMF's recommendations, stating government has already planned to achieve that fiscal goal. During our monthly sit-down interview, David Slatter, Vice President and Group Head of Investment, shared his perspective on the issue. He believes increasing VAT at this time would be a difficult decision for government.
There would be a lot of backlash because, let's be honest, VAT is a regressionary tax, right? It's not so. The lower your income, the more significant that impact is on your bottom line. So, it's something we've got to pay attention to. I mean, the reality is it is a tool at the disposal of the government. If they need to increase revenue quickly, they can do it through increasing VAT. It was at 12, it went back down to 10, right? When the current administration came into power. So, we'll see. It's something that we have to be mindful of. By increasing VAT, you can increase government revenue almost with the flick of a switch, right? So, you know, within a month, you start to see the benefits of it. What concerns me is that the IMF would imply that perhaps the government needs to do that. Does that mean there's revenues tight relative to expenditure, right? Is there a liquidity issue that the government needs to address in the short term? So when I see a report by the IMF of that, and you can see the reaction to that is, you know, that's not the case, we don't need to do that, right? So we'll see what reality is down the road.
After carefully detailing the severity of the climate threat to the Bahamas Attorney General Ryan Pinder Casey telling the International Court of Justice it's time for the polluters to pay. The AG says industrial countries have neglected what needs to be done for profit. Pinder reiterated that the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has repeatedly said the only way to stop a warming planet is to cut global greenhouse gas emissions. The world needs to see a 43% cut in emissions to meet the net zero emissions target by 2050, emphasizing the need for swift action.
Industrial states need to take urgent action now and provide reparations for their decades of neglect. International law imposes robust individual obligations on states to mitigate their greenhouse gas emissions. Climate change is not some unstoppable force that individual states have no control upon. We must cut through the noise and accept that those whose activities have led to the current state of global affairs must offer a response that is commensurate with the destruction that has been caused.
Addressing the International Court of Law, Pinder outlined that major emitters must change their current trajectory, as each state is required to do everything possible to stabilize emissions.
All major emitters must effect deep, rapid, and sustained reduction of their greenhouse gas emissions. Otherwise, my people's suffering is only going to continue to increase. Equitable climate action must account for the disparity of impact on small island and low-lying states such as the Bahamas.
All right, well, temperatures are definitely dipping across the islands as we move closer to the holidays. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and happy Monday evening, everybody. Quick check on conditions outside our studios and around the island. 72 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds. It's on the breezy side. Your winds are out of the north at 21 miles per hour. Your feels-like temperature is at 70 degrees. Satellite radar composite, frontal boundary that move into the northwest Bahamas, now pulling towards the east and away from us. Not much weather associated with that boundary, but down there, the southeast Bahamas, that persistent troughing still producing some clouds and some isolated showers across the Inago and Turks and Caicos Islands. That will move out. High pressure building in, nice air mass change for us. We're looking at some cooler temperatures tonight, and it looks as though we can continue to see those for the next couple of days. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, Tourism and Aviation Minister Chester Cooper discusses empowering taxi operators in Grand Bahama and addresses concerns with tour bus owners during a recent meeting. Also, the Agricultural Development Organization and RBC team up to harvest and distribute produce from a community farm in Exuma as a part of efforts to promote food security. And later, Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt awarded medals to recipients of the New Year and King's Birthday honors, celebrating excellence in public service and community development. That's all coming up when Our News returns.
This holiday season, the Ministry of Energy and Transport is bringing light back to Bahamian homes. Through our partnership with Bahamas Power and Light, we're offering the Merry and Bright Holiday Reconnection Program, so you can pay as little as 10% of your outstanding balance and get reconnected, just in time for the holidays. Pay a little, light up a lot. The Ministry of Energy and Transport is committed to making sure no family is left in the dark this season.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. INTI is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as INTI Corporation shines brighter than ever. INTI Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust. Tourism and Aviation Minister Chester Cooper recently sharing details about a meeting he held with the Grand Bahama Taxi Union. While in Freeport on Friday, Minister Cooper made these remarks on the sidelines of the opening ceremony for a local business on the island. He explains the meeting focused on tourism empowerment and exploring ways for taxi operators to benefit more from the economic activities currently taking place. As for the biggest issue expressed by the taxi union, an ongoing issue between taxi and tour bus owners over fair distribution of business opportunities.
That was the center of conversation. I was happy to be able to forecast the huge number of guests that we expect to come to Grand Bahama, and therefore we anticipate that there will be enough to go around to ensure that everyone benefit. We might need to do some structural adjustments.
However, he says in order for the tourism sector to thrive, the island must be equipped with high-quality transportation services.
In preparation for what we will see as the growth of arrivals from Celebration Key. Right now we have 500,000 guests who come to Grand Bahama. This year we'll have maybe 600,000, and in 2027, 2028 we will have close to 4, maybe 5 million guests. So this is going to be an astronomical jump in the level of activity. So it is important that they are positioned.
Built on the vision to inspire communities throughout the country to embrace food security, the Agriculture Development Organization has established a total of 6 small community farms, including one in Rollville, Exuma. This past weekend, the organization partnered with RBC to harvest and distribute crops at their community farm located near the Pilgrim Baptist Church on Kemp Road. Executive Chairman of the organization, Philip Smith, tells us some of the produce residents will receive.
We have broccoli, we have kale, we have okra, we have help me die. We have lettuce, peppers, we have cabbage.
Smith says in the long run, he hopes initiatives like these foster a love for farming within younger volunteers.
Most of the farming population over 60 years old, so we want to get more persons involved. We also have school farming that we are helping with. We want to have a farm in every school in the Bahamas within the next 2 years as well.
Government House was the backdrop for a momentous occasion as Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt presented medals to those named in the New Year's Honors 2023, 2024 and the King's Birthday Honors 2023, 2024. The honorees representing excellence in fields such as public service and community development. Among those in attendance was Prime Minister Philip Davis, who lauded participants for their dedication to the nation. The Prime Minister also challenged honorees to pay their success
press forward by mentoring the next generation of leaders and by continuing to place service above self.
I'm sure support from your family, friends, and communities helped you on your journey to this hilltop. I ask that you now look around to identify those in your neighborhood, your industry, and your nation in need of a helping hand. Continue to lead by example, placing service above self. As Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 to 8 reminds us, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility. Value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
When our news comes back from the break from December 1st to the 7th, the Department of Social Services in Grand Bahama is hosting events to promote disability awareness. Find out how you can participate coming up.
Coming up in sports, DeAndre Ayton gets back on track, the Hero World Challenge returns to Albany, and Lacarthia Cooper goes D1.
And will we continue to see cool weather conditions in the capital? Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trevor Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Tune in to relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Royalville Exuma Regatta. From thrilling native sloop races to delicious Bahamian food, games, and unforgettable entertainment, it was a celebration of culture, history, and pure.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. DeAndre Ayton continues to work his way back from last month's finger injury that kept him sidelined for 2 weeks. Ayton finished with 18 points and 7 rebounds in his Portland Trail Blazers' 137-131 loss to the Dallas Mavericks last night at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Over the course of the season, Ayton is averaging 14.7 points and 10.3 rebounds per game on 55% shooting from the field. On November 27th, Ayton returned to the starting lineup after he had missed the Blazers' previous 7 games with a deep contusion in his right index finger. In his first game back, he had 16 points and 12 boards in a 121-114 loss to Indiana, and followed with 26 points and 9 rebounds to lead the Blazers to a 115-106 win over the Sacramento Kings.
Sports tourism continues its busy winter schedule with the return of the Hero World Challenge. The Hero World Challenge, hosted by Tiger Woods, is a 20-man event at the Albany Golf Course, which features some of the top names in the sport. The 4-day, 72-hole event takes place December 5th to 8th for the 25th time and the 10th consecutive year at Albany. Woods will not play in this year's event due to back issues, but the field of 20 players includes some of the best in the world. World number 1 and defending champion Scotty Scheffler headlines the field, which also includes world number 5 Ludwig Agberg and number 6 Wyndham Clark. Golf Channel, NBC, and Peacock will have live coverage of all 4 days of the event. There is a $5 million total purse with $1 million going to the winner.
The last time LaCarthia Cooper made headlines, it was a question of whether she would be headed to Paris. Well, we know this fall, she's headed to Vegas. Cooper will join the UNLV Running Rebels program for the upcoming fall campaign after spending 2 seasons in junior college. She concluded her JUCO career with a national title for New Mexico Junior College. She won the 400-meter title in 53.65 seconds at the NJC 2A Championships in West Monroe, Louisiana. She also finished 4th in the 200-meter final in 23.82 seconds. Cooper and the Thunderbirds women won their 2nd consecutive NJC 2A outdoor title, the 5th in school history. As a senior, she improved on both finishes from her junior year when she finished 4th in the 400 in 53.08 seconds and 5th in the 200 in 23.45 seconds. Cooper has been named to 2 Olympic teams for the Bahamas, 2021 in Tokyo when she had to opt out due to COVID-19, and the 2024 Games in Paris.
The Nassau Rowing Club continues its community outreach effort in the local public schools. The Opportunities and Access Rowing program moved to H.O. Nash Junior School. The program has previously hosted students from D.W. Davis, C.R. Walker, and C.D. Bethel. With oars, the NRC looks to increase access and awareness of the sport of rowing among Bahamians from under-resourced backgrounds and communities.
That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. You know, I'm kind of sad we didn't get to do a newscast on December 1 just so we could celebrate.
800 million people.
800 million. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, the Department of Social Services in Grand Bahama is hosting a number of events to promote disability awareness. Find out how you can participate.
Enjoying some rather nice conditions around the islands tonight. Temperatures into the 70s, low 70s. How long these temperatures will last? Stick around. We'll tell you more about that when Our News returns.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. From thrilling native sloop races to delicious Bahamian food, games, and unforgettable entertainment. It was a celebration of culture, history, and pure island fun. Catch all the highlights, behind-the-scenes moments. Don't miss the exclusive recap of the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. Tune in and relive the adventure, only on Our TV.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on my services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Tune in to relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta.
This is our news. Welcome back. The official Atlantic hurricane season ended on Saturday, the 30th of November. We had 18 named storms, quite a number of hurricanes. Fortunate for us, most of those stayed away from us, and we were spared this season. So we're going to continue to keep our prayers for next season. Satellite view right now, we do have a frontal boundary that pulled through the northwest Bahamas. It's basically out in the open Atlantic, and most of the cloudiness associated with it. Persistent troughing near the southeast Bahamas, also producing some clouds down there, but those boundaries will exit the area. High pressure across the southeastern United States, that's basically keeping that area cloud-free, will continue to spill across our area. We're looking for some cooler temperatures as well as some breezy conditions, so beaching and boating for the next couple of days will be a challenge. But of course, those cooler temperatures will spell some very nice and pleasant weather conditions for us over the next several days. Future forecast showing much of the weather associated with that boundary well out there and to the east of us, and that's going to continue to side towards the southeast. Once again, high pressure will be building across the area, and that's going to continue to keep us with some clear, cloud-free skies, as well as some rather cool temperatures over the next several days. Boating conditions for the northwest Bahamas. Caution flag for you inside the islands, but in the Atlantic side, we had an advisory posted. Of course, high rip current risk. Winds will be northerly at 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting high at times. Seas running 4 to 6 feet near shore and in sheltered areas, but up to 8 feet in northeast to easterly swells, and they will be along Atlantic exposures. High tide 8:25 tonight, low tide 2:24 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, advisory post for you guys down there. Rip current risk still high for you as well. North to northeast 15 to 25 knots. Seas running 5 to 8 feet in north to northeasterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, beautiful conditions for the next several days, some off and on clouds throughout the remainder of the week, but those temperatures will stay in the 70s, and we're looking for those nighttime temperatures to be in the 60s. Get out and enjoy it. It's going to be a nice week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Well, December 1st through 7th is recognized as Disability Awareness Week globally. In Grand Bahama, the Department of Social Services has organized several activities to raise awareness. Chief Welfare Officer Brenna Mae Cooper says for the first time, a Disability Awareness Expo will take place on December 3rd at the St. George's High School Gymnasium. The event will provide an opportunity for attendees to learn more about the work of disability agencies. The week of activities will end with a special luncheon at the Cathedral of Christ the King. Senior Case Aide Godfrey Theoc explains the luncheon is designed to ensure that those with disabilities feel loved, valued, and appreciated.
We want it to be a time where most of our persons who will be attending who are disabled to feel special. You know, sometimes, when you're disabled, I can only imagine what goes on their mind, being neglected and feel misfortune and, don't even feel valued. And so it is our time we want to express our love and our appreciation towards persons who have been plagued with various disabilities, and so we want it to be a formal occasion. We want them to feel, that they are special, and we want to cater to them, and so that they will feel that they have been valued.
All right, such a great effort. And remember your chance to start the new year in style. This Boxing Day, you could drive away in a brand new all-electric 2024 BYD SUV. That's it right there. Visit ournews.bs, click the Ride Easy with Our News banner, answer the question correctly, and you're entered to win. We wish you all the best of luck. With that, we thank you for joining us for Our News tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.